Happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. So, I always feel weird when I say Good Friday, but I just wanted to come on here today, this Good Friday, and discuss the social dynamics of what we all be sitting here talking about. Not all, those who do. But I really wanted to discuss the current Mayor of Dolton, Supervisor of the Township, and her statement. Her statement being, they did this to Jesus. Why don't I think y'all would do it to me? Now, I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, the nerve of her to compare herself to Jesus. But I found the reflection interesting. Being a person that has lost two children. Hey, Crook County, what's up? So I found her reflection interesting because I myself have lost two children, my husband, my mother, my godson, and I sometimes say, or not so much anymore, but I remember saying, man, I feel like Job from the Bible. Does that mean I've lost all of my children and my houses and my farm and my cattle? No. Hi, Scott. It does not mean that. It just means that I can relate to that feeling. And so, on this Good Friday, why not discuss that statement? So, Mayor Supervisor Tiffany Henyard said, hey, Donna, said, they did this to Jesus. Why don't I think y'all would do the same to me? So I wanted to kind of examine the comparisons between the treatment of those individuals in terms of social dynamics, if that makes sense, and kind of draw some meaningful comparisons without dismissing the complexities of, either situation. But please note, please note that the comparisons that I want to discuss are rooted in a sociological aspect and analysis from my point of view. I want to look at the social behavior, the cultural implications, and just the dynamics of power within society, if that makes sense. So let me think. In the Bible, we remember, if you're familiar with the Bible and this entire Easter story, Good Friday is the day that Jesus was crucified. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Donna. Jesus was crucified, and it really commemorates that holy day. And since this is that day, let's see, where do I want to start? Let's just start with, in the Bible, there were several groups, several individuals that were depicted as, how do I say, harboring hatred and animosity towards Jesus. And what was the primary reason for that? I think, for me, I would say some of the primary reasons for the hatred that people had for Jesus in his day was his teachings, his actions, his claims about identity. You know what I mean? He's walking around with a bunch of, I guess, as we would call modern day when we talk about Tiffany, with a bunch of goons, or former goons, aka the disciples, you know, talking about I'm the son of God. Can you imagine how arrogant he must have sounded? But I think that's the main thing. Yes, yes, God, absolutely. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes. It was that Jesus challenged the existing religious authority and all the interpretations of the law by the Pharisees. His teachings, they often contradicted with um, their understanding, their practices, and that led to a threat to their power and their influence. And then as I said, also Jesus claimed at this time to be the Son of God and the Messiah. And that was viewed as blasphemous back then. You know what I'm saying? By the religious leaders, by people. How dare you claim that you're the Son of God? We've heard Tiffany say Martin Luther King had a dream. I am the dream. Oh my goodness, how dare you? I'm like Rosa Parks. Oh my gosh, how dare you? But back to Jesus. She compared herself to Jesus. Now, I just want to take a break and say what I think. I don't the way that I have heard people on the internet say she compared herself to Jesus and how disgusting, I don't believe that she did that at all. And that's just my opinion. I believe that she has an understanding of the Bible. She has an understanding that Jesus challenged authority. She understands that Jesus often criticized those religious leaders for their legalism, their hypocrisy, and that angered them to conspire against Jesus. And yes, yeah, well, uh, true, true. And I think that with the Roman authorities, remember those guys, you know, Pontius Pilate and all them, they also saw Jesus as a political threat. Let's not get that twisted. It wasn't just about religion. It Jesus became a whole political threat with his teachings. The growing popularity among, the masses. They thought, hey, Gardis, I'm sure they thought that from what I understand in the Bible, of course they thought that could incite unrest. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Jesus claiming to be the King of the Jews and, the Son of God. Those were accusations of treason. So, mm, that's kind of what? A challenge to Roman authority, right? And that's what led to his arrest and crucifixion. That. No crimes, no, it just him what he said. And then, we have to look at Judas. We have Judas and his betrayal, for greed, 30 pieces of silver. And I think that, while specific, oops, my bad, while specific reasons for his betrayal, we can debate them. It's often, we often interpret it as either greed or disillusionment, which I see like in the example of Tiffany Henyard. Everyone, the trustees were disillusioned with her. And no, I'm not saying Tiffany's Jesus, just in case anybody think I'm like, oh my gosh, Choose came on here and said Tiffany is Jesus. No, I am. I I, I choose not to state all of my things that I studied, but very interested in sociology. Anyhow, then there was the crowd and the mob mentality. And it was that crowd that called for Jesus' crucifixion that, that was swayed by the religious leaders, by the people in charge. Yeah, I gotta put Crook County, I gotta put that disclaimer out. You know, gotta be like, I'm not saying that Tiffany is Jesus. This is a sociological perspective. So, um, so yeah, the mob mentality. It was the religious leaders that that swayed everybody and got everybody stirred up, and their hatred, it was partly fueled by fear, misunderstanding Jesus' message, and for a desire for a different kind of Messiah. So ultimately, they didn't, regardless of what Jesus said, it was just like, nah, you don't look like the one. You walking around here homeless with a bunch of goons and thugs and thieves and unalivers. Nah, you not that one. You couldn't be. But I also thought about this. So if when I reflect on Tiffany Henyard's statements regarding like the treatment of Jesus, it it does kind of feel like, and we're not comparing the two people, but it does feel like history repeats itself. You know, Jesus faced what, hostility, hatred, often from those in power, as well as a mob of people. And we have literally witnessed in 4K, whether Tiffany is right or wrong, whether she stole or not. I have not heard what she stole, but regardless of that, we're witnessing a very, very similar phenomenon. How? The social media mobs. So just as there were crowds that, were that incited against Jesus, armed with anger and misunderstanding, Tiffany, that's what Tiffany faced. And it was all to tarnish her reputation because she's not in jail. I don't know what she stole. I don't know. And so I really think that that piece illustrates how quickly a narrative can shift from support to vilification. And it's often always fueled by selective information and gossip. And Gardner said in this whole Dalton situation, there were instances where the crowd went in with an opinion that would accuse an innocent of something wrong, which I call the Barabbas mode. Exactly. Exactly. Like, serious. 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 So that's really what I'm talking about. Let me see what else. Oh, all the speaking of that, the accusations. Accusations. Thank you, Gardis. Thank you. People people clamored, you know, for Jesus to face punishment, not even understanding what was going on, not waiting to, see what did this man actually do? And that's kind of similar to the demands that were being placed on Tiffany. It's like, go to jail, go to jail. People who seek silence rather than to engage in constructive dialogue. And then any also, as Gardis mentioned, it's like just accusing and anyone who said, "Wait a minute, can I ask a question? What about this?" Well, this sounds right. Oh my goodness, now you're attacked too. Isn't that what happened back in the day? You know, and I, the reason that I think that there are similarities is because I don't think people really understand that, Jesus posed a challenge to not only the religious establishment, but the political establishments, because it was the the priests and the people in charge. They were the political, they were the political establishments of his time. That's who it was. And he was threatening their power dynamics. And I think in the same way, Tiffany may have, allegedly, I'm saying may have threatened certain political figures. I don't mean physically threatened, but made people feel threatened. I know that something happened that led to the intensified scrutiny that we saw. And I just will never understand how, and this is me in real time. I'm going to take a pause from this. This is me in real time watching these meetings, watching them for years, and watching those first few meetings where Tiffany looked so confused because she's like, "Wait, we just talked. What what's going on?" Watching those first few meetings where you can see some confusion going on. And then I'm going to go with the residents now. The residents that will come to the podium at that time would say, something switched. Something happened here. And we just want y'all to get it together. We don't want all of this media. And this goes back to Riley Rogers. I'm not just talking about Tiffany. This goes back to Riley. We just want y'all to get this together. We don't need all media out here and all this. And then when Tiffany became mayor of Dolton, the residents very much noticed that something flipped. And they called on the trustees and they called on the mayor to get together and work it out. And I know that, you know, call my phone is like a household thing to say, but I think that was very crucial because I did see pushback during those meetings about, why do we have to call your phone? And then for me, it just all, I mean, I've kind of already had my personal opinions. I came in like, who is this person? Who is, like, why is Tiffany Henyard talking to these trustees this way? And, I didn't like it. But I'm going to say, because it's my opinion, and opinions are like assholes, excuse my language, on this Good Friday. Everyone has one. But I hear people say that she was not a good leader. I don't see that she had the chance to do that. She came in, if you look at that very first meeting, you can tell she was blindsided. She didn't know what was going on. But that's like I said, I don't think she had a chance. However, I'm going to show some videos, not today, but we're going to get into this because a lot of the things that even now trustee Kiana Belcher was asking for as a resident, is a lot of the stuff that Tiffany Henyard made happen within the first year. So there's that, and I will show you all that. Just not right now. But my personal opinion, that's my personal opinion, and I don't care. So she might have done something wrong, but I don't know what she stole. And until somebody can show me what she stole or somebody's actually leading her out in handcuffs, then I'm going to go ahead and dive back into the sociological piece. So, um, I just think that, you know, in social behavior throughout history, individuals that challenge the status quo, often face backlash, and from those in power. You know, Jesus, he experienced this firsthand with the crowds incited against him, leading to the accusations. Because what did he do? It was just a bunch of accusations and demands for punishment. Similarly, what do we see here today with social media? Tiffany Henyard facing social media mobs all over the world, seeking to undermine her reputation. It echoes. It's a historical pattern. Yes, exactly. Wait. Hey, politicians and leadership. I love you. So, I just really wanted to look at this, where it's like, we could even go, we can even go to, yeah, Keith Freeman and Lavelle. But you know what I thought about, Scott? I thought about Kamal. We spend so much time talking about Kamal. Um, what was that about Jesus and Mary Magdalene? Like, wasn't it, some talk about the relationship between Jesus and Mary Magdalene? So I'm just saying, like, in both cases, personal relationships, became, the talk, which detracts from either what's right or wrong, the capabilities, or they are. I agree, Curtis. Um, it's like we can't even tell. Jesus was single, for the record. He was. So it's like everybody spent their time talking about so much bull crap that we never heard what was stolen. Period. Like, period. And then it's like the power dynamics that are at play. Wait a minute, because I gotta know. I got to know what politicians and leadership is saying, because it's always a word, honey. People was walking up and still do with Tiffany. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. 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 Hey, Mama Love. And so, I'm like I said, I was just thinking, I'm like, this is so crazy, because I know that back in the day, and we will not hear what was stolen, because the 15 person planning on doing the same it is as it has always been. Hey, I'm agreeing with you, because I already put up there what I saw. I'm like, wow. mm, Uh, what's up? What's up, Riley Rogers? How you doing? How you doing at tea with the trustees? You popped out real quick, huh? Yeah. But I didn't got off. I done totally got off track. But and that's probably why I decided to just come on up here and be like, you know what? I had some thoughts about this whole Tiffany Jesus thing, not from a religious perspective, just really looking at it from, like I said, sociology, from a sociological perspective, and how history repeats itself with mobs, just people inciting mobs, and without any basis. So yeah, like Trina says, we're not gonna hear what was stolen. When we gonna hear that? Oh, but now it's all good. Now it's supposed to be all good. Now it's supposed to be all good. But as I looked at this picture, this latest picture at tea with the trustees, with Jason House looking the most confident that he has ever looked, and that's saying a lot because he didn't really look confident. He looked like he was gonna do whatever, you know, he whatever Riley was gonna do. But if you look now, who up there? That's Riley's whole doggone team now. So everybody, who was that said, one of the podium residents that said, "Oh, we're just really looking forward to a new change." How is that a new change when there's all of Riley's people up there right now? Every single one of them. It's his whole board now. Congratulations. Congratulations, internet that wanted to help the residents. Congratulations. The residents knew what was up. Yes, thank you, politicians and leadership. Everybody. Everybody. Jason House, back and forth, back and forth. You with Riley, now you with Tiffany. Oh, but you saw something. Nah, Riley sent y'all over there. My opinion, allegedly. And so I do think that in some ways, Tiffany was naive to what was going on. It was a whole girl. I want to know from you, when did you know that they was all doing that? Cause from what I see, and only the residents, I don't care what no outsiders have to say. Only the residents can tell me. And I think right now I have one of the most outspoken and intelligent ones in my chat right now. Thank you very much. It's an honor. But everybody that I see in charge right now is all of the people who the residents were complaining about 5 years ago. So what's new? What's new? What's new? I don't see nothing new. I saw Riley had to pop out with Jason. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, I mean, I just really find it, like I said, it's like lessons, these parallels. Yep. And facts, politicians and leadership. I knew before Tiffany was sworn in with Jason and Brittany and Kiana at Pablo's and been saying it. Vouch, because I been saying it. And you know how, and you know what, politicians, I can definitely vouch because let me see, when Della Creme Della was going back over them old meetings, hey Burgundy Blue, beautiful. Um, when Della Creme Della was going over those meetings, while my ass was in the chat, and I saw you, Trina, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be so good when you don't switch up because Trina was in that chat. And then I would see me in the chat. I'm like, oh dang, I'm glad I was asking questions like, you know, what's going on here? This don't make sense. But and I'm talking about back to the transitioning time from Riley. I've been in a few of Riley's old chats, but like literally I would see my comments and we see how comments age. But yeah, I bet I know Trina knew. I know you knew. And I was just putting it together. And that's why I'm like, you know what? You know what? I'm just gonna say what I got to say on this here Good Friday. Good Friday. Because no, I am not saying Tiffany Henyard is no Jesus. And guess what? I can't even comment on whether she was a quote unquote good mayor or bad mayor. Cause I don't see I just don't see things like that. Yeah, they finna try to run them up, but just like they put all eyes on Tiffany, all eyes on y'all now. Me today, you tomorrow. You see how excuse me, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, her her quotes that used to make me mad, and I'm only gonna speak for myself because I'll be like, ooh, me today, you tomorrow. Boy, they just be ringing in my head now. They be living rent free in my head. Like literally rent free in my head. Like me today, you tomorrow. So yeah, we watching. We know Jason and them don't want to watch, but I mean, don't Mayor-elect Jason House, excuse me, I'm moving some stuff around. Don't Mayor Jason elect House already got some questions? Shouldn't he, in the interest of transparency, shouldn't he explain uh that body cam and why he wouldn't talk to the police officers? Shouldn't he share that with his constituents? Boy, they forming a list for you, Mr. House. They forming a list. Did Tiffany go to jail? No, no, no. She's not in jail. She's not in jail. Can I grab one of them shirts now? Because now you're going to jail. Turn to let's not drag the past into the future. It did. And not only did it, that the ninja was full of shit. Only thing is, Jason not better at. Yeah, exactly. They do not want people watching. That actual factual, but people will be watching. Period. Jason, yep. Jason already told the people he will deal with flooding when he gets in office, but he currently in office getting paid. I did do I put a video up on that, and I don't do it for uh any outsiders. I do it for the residents to make sure, we gonna record history. We're gonna record history. Jason said that out his mouth. Being a sitting trustee, he yes he did. Yep, Andrew free, Tiffany free. And you know what? Thanks for reminding me about St. Patrick's. Didn't y'all just, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask no questions of these people because it's really like it could all be so simple in my Lauryn Hill voice. Like, did y'all not want St. Patrick's? Now you do want St. Patrick's. Now you don't. Was you not expecting the light flashing over there or something? That light real bright, ain't it? I could see it like a mile away. Right. So what he mean when he get in office, he a super liar because he was at the ribbon cutting for the Dookie factory. Thank you. Well, yep. That I guess that would be on the first list of questions. Mayor-elect Jason House, you got some splaining to do. Or are you not gonna answer questions? How how is this comment? How is public comment gonna go? Are we gonna answer questions now? Are we gonna be transparent? How are we doing that? Cause yeah, what do you mean get an office? I put a video up and said what you and put up what you said, Jason House. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, see you later, Burgundy. Go continue being great, darling. Yeah, like you supposed to be addressing flood, and now what y'all just doing? Partying till May 5th? I don't know what's going on. And then that Dookie factory, Jason, you messed up because why would you be part of that? Why would y'all even want a Dookie factory there? That's crazy. Like, that's so crazy. I don't even know what to say. Can't go home. It stank. Every time I go home. Want to buy a house, but y'all dream team that destroyed it. Now it's just a whole nightmare. Crazy. Look at look at politicians. You know what? When I come there and they ain't finna know, I'm finna have to, oh, I gotta sit down on retreat on the porch, man. No, 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 Scott. Because it's transparency, so shouldn't they be answering the questions going forward now because of transparency. Transparency, hey Tracy. So transparency is you're gonna want to answer them questions like why you ain't want to talk to the police on the doggone body cam and tell your constituents what the heck you said and what happened. That's crazy. Um, yeah, Jason, what are you going to do about this doggone dookie factory? Because the numbers are going down in the people that live there. So I am totally off track because you know, you know, my queen can't get up in the chat. She be making me be like, girl, I can't wait. Can I just come sit on your porch and let's talk when I come next time I come home. But um I why would they start the first Monday in May? Mm, I don't know because I was looking at something like, dang, it ain't even May 5th. Why your name going up on the building? That's disrespectful. Oh, there you go. I just looked at the comment section. Yep, Jason too busy putting his name on everything. Wow, sounds like Tiffany, huh? So what is just gonna be names and no pictures this time because what? You're more humble or something? You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait till May 4th. Come on, man. I mean, hey, hate, hating is real. Hating is real. Good working all weekend. Jason's more concerned with sitting at a bar stool than the flooding. Folks are going to get mowed. Exactly what I had said in my video. I'm like, so while you're waiting to get in office to address, and let me say this because what it said was, and I'm on my cell phone so I can't pull it up, but um, what he said was they were gonna wait until they get in office to address the infrastructure. So, huh? You're not even the infrastructure, not the flood and the infrastructure. Okay, got it. Got it. That don't make sense. So yeah, just go ahead and demolish all the homes, whatever Anton Daniels said, cause that's crazy. Like, ain't gonna be no town to run in a minute. So I don't know, but yeah, you absolutely right. I did see that. I'm like, dang, it is Friday, April 18th. Not Jason House. Jason House, you are not the mayor. You're disrespectful for that. And I stand on that. And that's my opinion. And that's my opinion only. But you know what? It's okay because here's the thing. That just shows how, yeah, no concern. They've never been concerned about the voters who voted him in. Never, ever. You can just, if you just look at public comment, which I'm going to start putting back up now. If you look at public comment, Jason always, I could deliver it to you, if I can, but, and look, don't even get me started because I'm already done where people can't read 96 pages in a day. So don't get me started right there because seriously. But man, it's April 18th and you are putting your name on everything. That's just jealousy and hatred. But you know what? You can't do. I mean, see, that's what I said. Tiffany's words be living rent free in my head now. Look at this. You can't beat her. Kiana can't beat her. Can't nobody beat her. In the sense that, regardless of what y'all say, we all gonna be dead. One of these, I mean, the only thing that we can be certain about is we all gonna die. And from now until each and every one of us breathes our last freaking breath, Tiffany Henyard will always be the first female mayor of Dolton. Ain't nobody gonna be worried about y'all mess. And then if anything, if they talk about the mess that the trustees, brought up, y'all gonna be looking like the Pharisees in the Bible. So once again, there goes Tiffany's reference to Jesus. And you can't be her because not only, yes, some of Tiffany's statements have turned out to be true. Hindsight is 2020. And again, I am I'm vouching for her as a human. I am not a constituent. So I can't vouch either way on that level. I can vouch for history being history. So first female mayor of the village of Dalton, Illinois. And I guess I might just put another disclaimer that this video is for the future when all of us are gone so that there's an archive. And she is also, will always be, regardless of what you all say, she will always be the first female Black supervisor of Thornton Township. Period. Of course, Riley Rogers. And you know what? Since he been so sick and he always seemed to get so sick, prayers to you, ex-Mayor Riley Rogers. See, um, he already, y'all know how I go. He ain't got to be appointed to be getting some money because Bert Odelson is still there. We're gonna bring all that up. We're gonna bring all of that up. But yes, the FBI very much investigates everyone. And very good that you got that budget back with them people. Tiffany was a damn degenerate embarrassment to both positions. Just because Riley Rogers' worst does not make her right. I agree. Yep, I agree. And that's what I said. I said, I absolutely cannot say anything from my perspective. I can only say that she will always be the first female mayor of Dalton in history. And in history, she will always be the first female as well as Black supervisor of Thornton Township. Napoleon ain't going down in history. Jason, Kiana, y'all ain't going down. They not going down in history. So, yes, I am not saying that anything. See, that's what I want to make sure, because anybody be like, oh, I'm whatever. Nope. I ain't vouching because I wasn't there. I wasn't there to say whether she good or bad. And I would say that politicians and leadership, hey, you know better than me. Vouch. You said it, vouch, because you know everybody. Yep, I hear you. I totally hear you. I totally hear you. And they were saying that Tiffany compared, everybody's been, okay, remember one of the board meetings, Tiffany said, they did this to Jesus. Why don't I think y'all would do that to me? And so it's just been a lot of people been like, oh my gosh, uh, she comparing herself to Jesus. And so I was just trying to bring more of a sociological perspective to it. I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I'm saying that I ain't heard what she stole. What I am saying is, you know, I thought that was like, I don't know, it was a little simplistic to just um just to be like, just to have people saying like, oh, that is just disgusting how she compares herself to Jesus. And I really don't think that she did that. So, and that was really, what I was kind of wanted to look at from a sociological standpoint, just how The mobs came against Jesus, the mobs came against Tiffany. It don't mean that Tiffany, I'm not saying Tiffany is Jesus, but some people will, you know, think that I'm saying that, even though I'm clearly saying that I'm not. As a matter of fact, what I'm saying is I would have to agree with politicians and leadership, because politicians and leadership has been there for all of it before Tiffany. Before Tiffany. So I would have to, if I would do anything, which that's what I tend to do, listen to the residents, not the people that are, trying to be in charge. So I'm going to go with politicians and leadership on the, let me see, let me go back because I want to read it, because I agree. Everyone that kicked her in the ass, she picked them. I gotta agree with that. You were there. Uh-huh. And then you said she locked the village hall. Yep. First mayor in history to lock the village hall. And we have that. It's time stamped. So it happened. You see what I mean? And this is why. This is why. I'm saying, like, nobody listened to the residents. Everybody jumped on board, which is basically the purpose for my little Good Friday rant here that I'm doing, because it's like, no, no, this person crazy, but she ain't a liar. You see, I can be right here reading these comments. Hey, she locked Village Hall, the first mayor ever in history to do that. Now, I would have to agree. Why? Because she knows. I can't. I that would and that's part of the problem. That is not part of the problem. It's been the problem. Everybody want to act like they know more than the people that was there. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it did. It went from yes, WrestleMania. Yep. Actually, I'm gonna say it went from WrestleMania and then it backtracked to AEW. How about that? 'Cause we looking at some AEW stuff right now. But yeah, no, that and thank you, as Mama Hill would say, thank you for confirming to the Department of Justice that this is the problem. This is the problem. Everybody that hopped on the social media, yeah, AEW, everybody that hopped on the social media train did not listen to the residents. And wait, got another Tiffany one. Pause. Before social media, what were the residents asking y'all to do? Get it together, get it together, get it together. With Riley and with Tiffany. Get it together, get it together, get it together. They was asking y'all that. Y'all did what the elected officials did what they wanted to do. So, and then you have all the outsiders that Jason thanked for bringing people into a, a village that is 5 miles. Like, oh my gosh, y'all really think y'all was welcome there? And then, okay, let me see, because, I got to. After the failed recall, she doubled down, yep, on fucking up with the people, locking Village Hall, citizens addressed. She like, this ain't no Q&A, bringing the rapist and Keith Freeman, a thief. And the board voted, we know who in, to work, and Keith Freeman to the village administrators. Then the Dusties brought in all the social media BS and the antagonizing llamas. See, this is why you listen to the residents of the village that you claim that you're trying to help. This is why you listen. Folks thinking we hurt people for real. Man. But see, this is why you listen to the residents. And I think this is purposely why no one else would listen. This is why they called. This is why they called politicians and leadership crazy, because they couldn't call her a liar. You feel me? This is why they did what they did to Mama Hill. This is why they did what they did to so many people. Like, seriously. Them help. Oh my God. Trina, I got to sit down with you. I just feel like we would just laugh and laugh and laugh. So, yeah. And they sure can't call you stupid. Oh, look, any day, any and every day, any and every day, you out educate all of them. Crazy that you had to come up there and from what I seen for years and years and years and tell them what's supposed to happen. It's crazy. I mean, we saw a little glimpse of it at what, that Thornton Township uh annual meeting. They was looking crazy. They was looking crazy. They looked so lost. Now if Tiffany's stupid, how did y'all look so lost without her? Trina wasn't there. How y'all look so lost? The very people y'all don't even know. But no, you can't call her stupid. Can't call her a liar. None of that. Always come with the education. And you know what? Man, I don't know how bringing a golf club, when you bring a golf club into any of the park districts, and uh, that's recreation, right? That's recreation, right? Man, right. And then, yeah, and it was a whole thing about golf clubs in a park district that is recreational. Just to fuss and fight and cuss. Exactly. Is a weapon. Arrest Tiger Woods. I'm saying, right? Like, right? Wait a minute, I think I missed Chavez. Truth be told, I didn't know about how bad it was in Dalton and Thornton Township until I saw videos from Pink Book Lessons. Then I got more info from watching Stream from Burgundy, Reality Check TV, and Late Night Crew. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all the way in St. Louis, Springfield, Louisiana. Heart went out to the locals. Yep, the social media folks got in and got money from views, yet residents still have to deal with everything. Absolutely. Ain't nobody water bill going down. Ain't nobody bill going down, and now it's flooding, and y'all got to wait until they get in office to talk about infrastructure, to whatever, do nothing. And so, like, for me, it's like, I'll be like, okay, I'm not a resident, but I'm not finna tell y'all my business about how I'm tied there. I mean, I've said it enough. I'm not finna keep saying the same thing. So, like, water bills, have you ever got a ass whooping for taking a 6-minute shower because of that damn water bill? No, then you don't understand these doggone water bills. And let's see, nope. And sellers are hard corrupt boy. Yep, all on TV. Yep. It's all on TV and social media for what? And nobody talking about the residents, nobody talking about helping pay down that water bill. Ain't nobody talk about helping nothing. Anything about helping the residents. Shop. The water bills are higher than Chris Brown on his birthday and are have gotten several beatings for taking and reprimands and all kind of stuff. Had to wait till I had gym, take a long shower so I could use a school shower. Absolutely. Trina, yes. I'm sorry, politicians and leadership, yes. They steal from the blacks with water bills because most people don't understand the billing say facts. Facts. Factual. I don't know how to put it up on the thing. Yep. They pay $5.64 for every 750 gallons. Crazy. Crazy. And what we gonna do about that? And what we gonna do about the poop factory? What we gonna do about the flooding? Wow. You know what? Congratulations, Jason House. Congratulations, because I really hope that you have a plan. Or Riley, do you have a plan? I don't know where the plan is coming from. Yep, 10 or 11 units. And that is, dang, 750,000 gallons. Definitely ain't nobody using all that. I know, right? And look, that's what I was trying to point out. That's what I was trying to point out. Exactly. And I know you would know, so vouch. Biggest thief, vouch, 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 vouch. It's just, I don't know. He was prayers and blessings and salutations and all of that. But to pop out all early like that with Jason at the tea with the trustees, I found that really suspect. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? Oh, it was just a picture, my ass. It was just a picture. Okay. All right. All right. He sure have been there the whole time. The whole time. Ever since they was putting Mama Hill out. Right? Don't that sound about right? Don't that sound about right? About ever since then. About ever since then. About ever since then, right? So I mean that's where I see everything is coming from. It's like, um, let's see, what's your plan? Well, and I'm talking about Jason. What's your plan? Well, I'd rather not talk about the plan. I'd rather just get in office and do the plan. I'm like, what? So we're waiting on word from Riley. Let me stop playing, cause I'm not like really. Yep, before, during the recall. Yep, absolutely. I'm saying, look, okay, you can correct me if I'm wrong. As 1 degree separation from the inside, so we'll call me an outsider. Uh, that doggone recall, that doggone recall where Riley Rogers was there. I have always felt that was Riley Rogers because it's like, nah, boo boo, you mad, and this is. Again, opinions are like assholes, and since I'm an outsider, this is my opinion, right? My opinion. I'm like, man, you mad. Y'all want to get, man, even Dan Lee, and this is another example of y'all not listening to your residents because y'all got Dan Lee on camera. Y'all got him on camera saying we should do a recall. We should do this. Just meet her at the polls, but that wasn't good enough. You see, that's how you know psychological operations are at play when it's a rush. Do this now, and you're producing fear in people. That's that's what psychological operations are about right there. That's what that's about. It's first tea with the dust. That's what we going. Yep, that's what it is now. First tea with the Dusties, Riley Rogers came to when Stephanie Reederman was arrested. I remember the whole story. Yep, I remember. And she wasn't, and from what I heard, because I wasn't there, but from what I heard, she had a lot of flyers in her hand now, didn't she? Hmm, hmm. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, for everybody to want change and be talking about Dalton United, that was a whole. Mayor Riley Rogers is mad, god dang it. And since Riley Rogers is mad, we need to recall her. That ain't cool because everybody that is sitting there, every single person is every single person that was with Riley. Except, I don't know, Kiana is just Kiana. She, again, this is my opinion. She just want to be in power. I don't even think she care who she with. She wants to be in power. Period. That's my, um, yeah, that's my personal opinion on that. Her and I remember her saying when she was talking to Cassandra Hobson Jordan, talking to her, talking about, and yeah, 152 votes, and I'm sitting up here like, you be really trying to be like Tiffany? Is that it? Because didn't somebody say she got 94 votes? I mean, come on now, what are we doing here? 94 votes when Kiana Belcher ran for mayor. So why in the world are you talking about Cassandra, I'm sorry, I don't mean to mispronounce your name. Cassandra got 152 votes. It's just weird. It was. She got 94. It was either 94 or 96. Don't let me take them 2 votes away, but 94 or 96. Because I remember when the nice resident lady who saw Kiana on the block taking pictures of Tiffany's house, talking about, I'm your trustee. I'm your trustee. I'm just saying what the lady said. I'm just saying what the lady said. That she was on the block, but y'all left, and then they also said that y'all went right over there to that bar with um Riley Rogers. I was right over there at the bar. Mm-hmm. Say I'm lying, and put a picture. I'll put a picture because somebody got a picture. The arrogance she had, yeah. I mean, it, and that was kind of what I came saying, like, with just like from a sociological perspective, like on why people just decide to hate people. You know what I'm saying? It's Tiffany's arrogant. Let me see. They said what Cassandra was arrogant. Let's go back in the day. They said Jesus was arrogant. So you know what I mean? It not liking somebody and the level of hatred is just two different things. And and let me say this. I've seen politicians and leadership queen downs. I've seen you angry. I've never seen hatred though. I've seen you angry. Never seen you hate anybody. I've seen you angry, but I have not seen you with hatred. So yeah, there's a difference. There's a tremendous difference. Um, but yeah, so I think I really, cause I'm just sitting out here on the porch, just chilling. I'm like, I had this whole thing that I just wanted to put out there, cause it was like the fourth time I done looked at something, and somebody was like, Tiffany compared herself to Jesus. The nerve of her. Again, so I don't believe that the current mayor and current supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, I don't believe that she was comparing herself to Jesus. I believe that she was actually uh, feeling like she could relate to the experience of being just talked about, just drugged through the mud, just accusations. And I'm talking about from the trustees, because we know that she did. We know that Village Hall was locked. We know everything that Trina said. Yes, Trina is well spoken, articulate, intelligent, educated, and a truth teller. So there, and a truth teller. Let me add that, a truth teller. So I don't think it should be a secret. All eyes on all eyes on Riley Rogers, all eyes on Jason House, all eyes on Kiana Belcher, all eyes on everybody. Because y'all had all eyes on on Tiffany Henyard when y'all should have had our eyes on the whole board who passed everything, which is crazy. But I'm hoping that that hatred has passed, specifically and especially for you, Ed Steve. I really hope that that hatred has passed, because I've noticed since both of you were trustees, you practically foam at the mouth from being blocked from her Facebook page, and just let how about let go of the hatred all around, wherever it's coming from. Let it go. Trustee again, right? That's Riley's whole team up there, right? Now we want to see what y'all gonna do for the residents, even though they were complaining about the same people. But with that, I hope everyone has a great Friday. I have a really awesome surprise that I think is happening tomorrow. So that's another reason why I had to come on here, because I had this stream set up and it went totally a different way than I don't know, but I'm happy the way it went, because I hardly ever go live, so I like to talk to people. But yeah, I have hopefully a wonderful, wonderful surprise tomorrow. I cannot wait. And I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And until next time, I am wishing everybody love to fill your hearts and light to lead your way. Until next time. Oh, yeah, they have been bobbing and weaving the media. Sending love and light.